Hello fellow Helldivers, Thornton here, and we have some exciting news. It looks like Super Earth is around the corner, and with it, we're getting more urban combat, which is, in my opinion, one of the funnest ways to actually play Helldivers 2. Along with that, the Illuminate are getting new ships, which means we might actually get some upgrades too. Thanks to Iron Sights, we have a lot of new information. We're going to go over all of that, but without further ado, let's jump into today's topic. So in pretty breaking news, Iron Sights gave us a first-hand look and let us know that Super Earth now supports urban environments, meaning that we are going to be getting more cityscapes. We still are waiting on the ones for the automatons and terminids. Right now it's only Illuminate and what will be Super Earth. But that being said, when we get a closer look at the image, it does seem pretty cool. Now, Super Earth has a lot of forestry in the background that you can see, along with a lot of oceans, and the city planning looks pretty cool, and you can actually see Illuminate ships there in the background, which means that the Illuminate will be actually making a move for Super Earth, and that's all pretty interesting and ties into today's video because we're going to be talking more about the Illuminate and, well, their upgrades and missions. This is really only their vanguard fleet, as we only have 4 different enemy types, yet in the files there are a plethora of different types such as Observer, and we'll go over that in a little bit, but along with that there are going to be brand new mission types coming to the game, and this one actually revolves around, well, the Illuminate. You let us know that there are going to be Illuminate ritual objectives, and our goal is to locate and stop all Illuminate rituals. At the ritual sites, Illuminate summoners will actively perform a ritual, and we got to interrupt it and kill all summoners. There is actually a ghoul model in the game that will be summoned to go ahead and stop us while we're doing that to aid them in combat, and upon interrupting a ritual, a large earthquake will be felt nearby. There are 2 ritual types, default and whole. The dark fluid harvesters might also be involved. If you haven't seen it, this is the whole, I believe, right here. It's just like a big jar looking thingy, but that's gonna be somewhat involved with the ritual. Tier 5 NPC went ahead and gave us a bunch of content on the Helldivers League subreddit, and first thing we're gonna go over is in the planetarium. Now, what you are seeing in the screen right now is a gallery of many planet previews that have yet to be released and integrate the galactic war fronts. Mostly are foreshadowed, tempered, and arid bases, you can tell here. There's a lot of cool ones. I really like the snow-based layout one. The jungles seem pretty interesting, and it will be ideal when we finally get Super Earth in. There's a couple that look very stormy, which means we might get new planetary effects, and overall I think these look really fantastic. It reminds me a ton of the Star Wars universe, with each planet having a very specific biome, but these are generally what we can be expecting. Now, new planets are all very cool, but Super Earth is the one that players have been wondering about for a very long time, and if you watched my video yesterday, you might have noticed that we talked a little bit about it, as EG Win actually data mined a Super Earth planet that you could go to and take a look at. In fact, not only was there a model in-game that showed, I believe the Americas is what you're looking at right here, I want to talk about the possibility of wildlife coming into the game in the near future, and it definitely seems like that is the plan, as there are stuff found in the game files right here where it says a faction type Super Earth, faction type Bugs, faction type Illuminate, faction type Cyborg, which is the automatons, and finally a faction type Wildlife, which is going to be a new enemy faction or possibly neutral faction that will attack both fellow Helldivers alike and the enemies as well. And there's even more stuff, as there are voice lines for our Helldivers to communicate that we have found it on certain planets. I'll go ahead and play the audio files right here. These are found by Tier 5 NPC.
Alien wildlife found. Assessment. Adorable. Dangerous wildlife.
So as you can see, one of them is very cute and adorable. However, dangerous wildlife is also spotted, which does imply the fact that these things are going to be hunting us, or at least impacting our battles while we try to spread managed democracy. I think this would be a pretty interesting thing to come into the game. It fits very well with the lore, and there are a ton of planets that could bring this in. But before we explore those planets, I think it's very likely that when this does finally come in, we might finally get the Primal War Bond, which is this cowboy type armor found by Asunder and uploaded on the Discord. You can see that it is a suit of armor, and it has actually some teeth / claws around the neck piece, and it is overall a hunter themed outfit, or at least inspired by that. But the question is, well, we haven't seen any on the planets we have currently been exploring. However, that being said, there are a ton in the game files that are going to be coming soon, so let's go ahead and take a deep dive into the planets and let me know which one you guys think the AI wildlife will be coming to. Data miner extraordinaire known as Iron Sights, who if you've ever been on this channel before, you would have heard his name many a times, has shown us that there are 10 new planets that will be added to the game in the future. These planets include the Bug homeworld, the Bot homeworld, the Illuminate homeworld, the Mines of Zion, a forest cathedral, Heroes Bay, Coldith, which is kind of a funny name, Miasma 8, Dark Water Bay, Bug Quarantine, Meridian Leah, RP426 Eushurion, Outpost 31, Franklin's Retreat, and Protea 5, along with one called Hell's Cauldron, which, you know, only makes me more worried about Hellmire. Regardless, in addition to the new planets, there is going to be that new enemy faction of the Illuminate, and if we look at the galaxy map, you'll notice there's enough room for 2 more factions to compete alongside the automatons and terminids, so it will be interesting to see who also, besides that Illuminate, decides to join the galactic fray. It'll be someone we haven't probably seen before, which makes it pretty interesting and tantalizing. Not to mention, there is a brief video of players getting dropped onto Super Earth, which looks really cool, and Super Earth doesn't look like what I thought it would. I was envisioning a lot of major cities and metropolises, but this does appear to be a very lush jungle atmosphere, and the bugs are here, which is also another interesting thing. How did the bugs get to Super Earth? Why are they invading us now? And what happened to allow them to get here? Are the Hive Lords here, or are we only going to see that on the bug homeworld? But the addition of new planets and enemies are going to help to make Helldivers 2 a more balanced and diverse game. Here is actually a banner frame of all the new maps that we know of so far with their images actually in it, which makes it very, very interesting, and you can get an idea of the biosphere that we will be playing on in the future so that we can finally get away from Hellmire. And Helldivers 2 is a great game with a lot to offer players. If you haven't already touched it, I highly recommend it. So that's everything we can be expecting in terms of AI wildlife, the construction of the space station, and even possibly a primal war bond in the near future. We'll go ahead and play some community clips right now, and remember, if you guys want to submit any, just shoot me a message and a DM on Thornton Smash on Twitter, and I will go ahead and upload some of your guys' gameplay.
Requesting sentry.
In that fleeting moment when I was facing off against the Major, I envisioned the outcome of our exchange of fire, and the hairs on the back of my neck stood on end. After assessing the situation and taking all the factors into account, my experience as a sniper led me to one conclusion. I was about to die. I desperately racked my brain to come up with a way I could turn the tables in a situation like that. And then I noticed something strange. Wait a minute. Is it possible that she doesn't have mid-range fire control software? Yes, that's the only explanation. In which case, she needs control software to snipe me at this distance. She must be in the middle of downloading that software via satellite at this moment. Get there first.
Let me know down below, what are your guys' thoughts on Super Earth and how it will come into play with the Illuminate. Also, don't forget to check out this video right here where I cover more Helldivers 2 news on the daily. And until next time, everyone, thanks for stopping by. Keep spreading managed democracy.